Back in 2019, I was buying Shohei Ohtani rookie cards for $20 to $100, and I sold them for a 2-3x profit, and now some of those same cards are worth thousands of dollars. And the crazy part is, I was right, but I actually ended up losing a ton of value. And this wasn't just one or two cards. I was buying Ohtani in quantity. You could see over here, this is 2019, September 30th. This is a 3-card chrome lot, and I'm going to scroll through. You'll see a lot more. 3 Ohtani PSA 10 rookies for $53. I was also buying Wander Franco and Acuna at the time. You could see here, PSA 10 first Bowman. I actually bought a bunch of these cards raw and got them graded myself, but I was also buying them in PSA 10 condition, and it was only $18 for the PSA 10 of Ohtani that is currently going. You could see over here. Look how crazy this is. I bought this one right here for $18, and the same exact card, Ohtani's Bowman first and a PSA 10, is going for $4,500 right now. And that's just not one sale. $4,900, $5K, and look at this. The first purchase of this card back in 2019, I made it, and I picked it up for 20 bucks. We can keep scrolling. There's a bunch of Acuñas, a bunch of Tatis, some Heritage. This is an Ohtani from Heritage where you could see the PSA 10 I bought for 23. The same exact card is going for $700 now. 600, 685, 700. Here's Topps Chrome, 21 bucks for that. I bought this Trae Young 101 for 2K. I was pretty much taking every single dollar that I made and buying sports cards with it. Back in 2019, I was buying baseball. I was buying a bunch of basketball. Here's more Ohtani. I believed in him so much, I was even buying his non-licensed Panini low-numbered cards. This is a gold number to 10. Imagine what that would do on the open market right now. There's more Ohtani purchases. If we keep scrolling, you could see all of these cards I was buying. This is a BGS 10 refractor from Topps Chrome. This is a Topps Chrome PSA 10. Look at this. Refractor number to 499 from Bowman PSA 10. Let's see what that card sells for. Number to 499 Bowman PSA 10. That one goes for $25,000. This makes me sick. This honestly makes me sick. I bought that card for $75 on August 30th, 2019. I'm about to throw up. I might have to go to the bathroom. The video might have to be paused, everybody. How sick is that? I bought the card for $75 and it just sold the other day for $24,500. March 22nd, 2026. Absolutely incredible. More Heritage, more Heritage. Acuñas. Look at all this Ohtani. I was just firing it in. That's a variation. That's a Sepia BGS 10. I was buying as much as I possibly could of Ohtani. I was buying as much as I possibly could of Acuna. I bought a bunch of Wander Franco, which is obviously not good right now. But I really believed in Ohtani. That's why you see most of the cards of him and Acuna, because I was highest on those two players. There's another Bowman PSA 10 for 19. If you remember, back in 2018, Ohtani was in Bowman, but he didn't have the Chrome card. He only had paper and autographs. So his first Bowman card, even though it doesn't say it in the top corner, was really 2018 Bowman Chrome. And 2018 Bowman Chrome featured Ohtani in his hitting position. 2018 Bowman, he was pitching. Back in 2019, I always believed Ohtani was a better hitter than he was a pitcher. I thought it was more sustainable. I felt the hobby always overvalued players that hit a lot of home runs. And Shohei Ohtani showed me that he had promise when I was watching baseball back in 2018. I went heavy on his Bowman Chrome card specifically because I like to pick up base and refractor cards non-auto back in the day. And then I also liked Ohtani pictured as a hitter on the card. I also did buy Ohtani autograph cards, which was rare for me from Bowman Chrome. He was actually a redemption, which I do like better because when you get it back from Topps, it's a higher likelihood it's going to be in good condition as opposed to buying a card that's live and pulled from a break from someone else, they're probably going to inspect that card. So it's a lot harder to get a PSA 10 on a card you're buying that's live than a redemption. So the fact that I believed in Ohtani so much and his cards were redemptions for autographs, I ended up buying a bunch of those as well. And you can see there's a ton more Ohtani purchases here. BGS 10 Ohtani, BGS 10 Ohtani. And if you guys don't do much Beckett, a BGS 10 is a lot harder to get than a PSA 10. It might not sell for a ton more, but back in the day it did. And in my opinion, it should, because BGS 10s are tougher. PSA 10, PSA 9, 2-card lot of Ohtani. More Ohtani. Look at this. Gold refractor. BGS 9.5 gold refractor. I paid $182 for that card. It's probably worth 6 figures. Might be a 6-figure card. Let's see. You probably got to look on auction houses if you want to see one of those sold, because it's too expensive of a card. The refractor in a 10 is going for $25K. Imagine what this gold would do. This is a rookie purple to 250 Bowman's Best. My eBay purchases are just littered with Shohei Ohtani from back in 2019. We're in August of 2019 now. More Ohtani. 5-card lot. There's a Bowman. There's some Topps Chrome. There's some update. There's some more Topps Chrome. There's a purple. Just tons and tons of Shohei Ohtani. As much as I could get my hands on, I was buying back in 2019. Look at this. More. Just tons and tons of PSA 10 Ohtani was showing up to my doorstep every day back in 2019. And the number one mistake I made was selling all my Ohtani cards when they went up 2-3x. I treated it like a flip instead of an investment when it went up 2-3x. I was playing for semi-big wins, but if you remember, the sports card market was also booming at the time. So it wasn't just Ohtani playing good ball was the reason these cards were going up. It was the hype that the sports card market was getting. Gary Vee came into the industry and he was pushing it heavy. And sports card prices just started going up in general. But I didn't realize how big the potential with Ohtani truly was. What I learned from this is you never want to be completely out of a player that you think has superstar potential. The better move would have been to sell some of the cards for 2-3x and then free roll the bigger cards because you already made the profit on the smaller ones. Let me give you a real life example of what I would have done. I would have taken the Topps Chrome, the Heritage Base PSA 10s. I would have sold those cards, and then my profit would have been enough to cover the gold BGS 9.5 number to 50, some of the refractor Bowman's number to 499. I would have been into those cards for essentially $0 using the profit that I made from the base PSA 10s of Ohtani. The goal is to lock in profit as early as possible, but you still keep your potential upside if a player pops off like Ohtani eventually did. I call this the free roll superstar strategy. You buy early when some people don't think that superstar is going to pan out. Then you sell enough of him to lock in profit, and then you hold your biggest upside cards of that player for the long haul, and you're essentially into them for nothing. The reason this works so well is because of how people think. Most people sell too early because they're scared of losing out on profits. But when you're dealing with a generational player, the real money is made through holding through that uncertainty. And this isn't really about Ohtani, even though it does make me sick looking at these prices. This is about finding the next version of this. There's players right now with cards that are selling under $50 that could pan out just as well as Ohtani did in the future. If you want to see some of the cards that I'm buying, check out my other YouTube videos. I've gone over a ton of cards that I'm picking up under $50 that I think have similar type of potential in the future. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you soon for some more sports card content.